Right, well, thank you. What I try to do with the Grandmaster is to combine two genres into one book, the historical drama and the supernatural thriller. And as far as my protagonist is concerned, Johann Wagner, a 70-year-old physician who possesses paranormal powers, he's haunted by two demons. The first demon is his past, his memories as a concentration and labor camp survivor during the Holocaust. The second demon I'll get to in a little bit, but what's really important to note about the Grandmaster is, well, it's Johann's journal. It's a series of journal entries, and he describes in detail, while he's incarcerated in a labor camp, instead of using his powers to escape and save his own life, he stays. And he uses his powers as the camp physician to not only heal his fellow prisoners physically, but most significantly, spiritually. During the night, as the prisoners sleep, Johann enters their minds one at a time, and he basically substitutes the nightmares of their past and present with a hopeful future, with dreams of a hopeful future, and that helps them to endure the day-to-day experience at a camp. But then all of a sudden, his powers are taken away. And he can not only prevents him from healing the prisoners, the feeling leaves him empty, like a void, as though it was like a form of spiritual amputation, and he's barely functioning. And then he meets the new commandant of the camp. I slowly walked through the various wire gates and walkways leading directly to the commandant's barracks. I felt so imbalanced and drained in terms of my loss and anxiety, yet I did my best in maintaining my composure and kept the tremors at bay. I arrived in his office, and my fear was replaced with curious interest. Reinhardt turned his barracks into a comfortable office. There was no carpeting, and the walls were a dull gray, but the large desk was made from oak, with a stone black name placard on the front with ivory white lettering, Karl Reinhardt, Commandant. The pictures on the walls were professionally framed, and the painted landscapes were something to envy. He had an actual bed, not a small narrow bunk. There was a full bar next to the left wall, and his lamps were ornate with exquisite lampshades, never showing any indication of gaudiness, only sophistication. In front of his desk were two leather chairs, smaller versions of the large revolving one which he sat in. It seemed to fit his muscular form perfectly, as if it was tailor-made for him. To his right was a phonograph, and to his left was a small table where a beautiful chessboard was placed, with black and clear glass chess pieces complementing the set perfectly. The chess set radiated, reflecting the lamp light from its polished surface, beckoning me to play a game. Oh, how my heart ached. But the record he was playing was from the Rheingold, the first opera of Wagner's Ring series. My longing turned into anger. What right did he have to possess such beautiful items? It was bad enough that the Nazi Party had used my grandfather's beautiful music for their perverse hate campaign, but the fact that this man was playing it right in front of one who loves Wagner's music made me want to scream. And to flaunt that chess set in my face. But I knew Reinhardt was unaware of my passions. After all, I was only an insignificant Jew. He finished his paperwork, set it aside, and looked up at me. Upon closer examination, the colonel definitely resembled a boxer. His nose was broken, but not malformed. The injury added distinction to his face. He didn't look like a typical Aryan. His eyes were a dark brown, and his trim, straight hair was black as night. His mature face gave me the impression he was a man in his middle 40s. The sophistication of his office contrasted with his huge physical features, which stirred my curiosity even more. He studied me for a few moments and then turned to the guard. "I'll be fine. You're dismissed." As the guard left us alone, he brought his attention back to me. "I am very interested in the fact that one of the reasons why productivity is so high here is because your skills as a doctor are unmatched. I looked at your file, Herr Doctor. Very impressive. I have a feeling from your look, you might have a question or two to ask me. Please, feel free." I stood in complete attention in front of him with my cap off. listening to him with an utmost regard for his authority. I have to admit, my confusion was increased. He not only referred to me by my name and not my number, he was giving me permission to talk. He communicated to me like a human being. What is this all about, I thought. Then an answer came to me as I looked at his face. I felt the shivers creep up my spine throughout my entire body. My anxiety, my pain, my loss of powers. I whispered, "How did I take away your powers?" He then displayed a small smile. There was no sign of malevolence or wickedness at all within that grin. It was one of understanding, even sympathy. Only a truly evil man can believably smile like that, which frightened me even more. Herr Doctor, did you actually believe that you were the only person in the entire world with supernatural gifts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll stop there.